Well, Fluffy, can you hear it? Yeah, I can hear it. It's not like last night. All those fireworks, constantly, all the way to 1 or 2 in the morning. It sure did have y'all scared, didn't it? Yeah, and kept me up a while. But that's okay. Everybody was having a good time. And that's what it should be about. And thankfully, as far as I've heard, nobody around here got hurt this year. Fireworks used to be fun, Fluffy. Yep, we used to have a little fireworks show here every year. The kids surely did enjoy it. And when they got a little bit larger, you know, they wanted to set them off too, and I'd let them, set off the safer ones. Of course, Dad always did the big ones. And they just loved it. There'd be oohs and there'd be ahs. Yes, there would. It's good to remember the times in the past. And there's no better time for it than this time of day, right before the sun goes down. Yeah, the sun is set behind the trees. And look at that sky. No longer blue, but as it goes further down to the west, there'll be an orange glow right above the tree line. It's simply beautiful. And like I said, if you listen closely, there's just that silence. Oh yeah, I can still hear my air conditioners running. It was an extremely hot day. Not that we haven't been that hot before. It was 92 today. Cleo, she's sitting out in the road. Well, she's laying down. She loves the road this time of day. I wish she wouldn't. We've had a discussion, but she won't change. Hopefully, she'll always be safe. And that's all I can ask and pray for. Yeah, I like to come out this time of the evening. Just sit. Because for whatever reason, right before the sun goes down, everything to me has always seemed at peace. It's just a magical time. And today, as I was sitting here, passing out treats to the kitty crew, and watching that sun go down, yeah, I remember back the times long ago, when we were all children. And the only thing we did, we didn't have the computers, we didn't have the cell phones, the tablets, and all of that. And we only had 3 TV channels. We didn't have all the distractions children have today. And what did we do? Well, when we were smaller, and it was nice outside, we played outdoors. And there was always one rule. And that one rule was, yeah, I know y'all know it, just like I do. You better be home by the time the street lights come on. And you can see over there by the big woods across the cemetery, yeah, the street lights are on. So back then, we'd better be home, at least on the property. That was the rule my father made. You didn't have to be in the house, but you had to be on the place. And if you weren't, it wouldn't be long. You'll hear my mama's voice telling us all, we better get on in. And of course, if she didn't see us directly, there'd be that other voice that we didn't want to hear. And that would be my father. You didn't want to hear his, because at that point, you'd done stretched it way too long. Those were the days. Back when I was a child, even though my parents, struggled, they still got us stuff. during the summer months. Somehow they'd come up with the money. And we had a badminton net and those badminton rackets. And we played badminton. And that was so much fun. We did it here too with my children. Down on the south lawn. Yep, every year I'd set up a volleyball net for them. Oh, we'd play too when I was off of work and I could. And then of course it's subbed for a volleyball net as well. We even had, maybe you'll remember, croquet, or was it croquette? You put up those little wire rings and knock the ball through the wire rings. Yeah, we had a lot of fun with that too. And I must admit, there was one year for the summer, though I'm, looking back, it wasn't my best judgment, we got a set of lawn darts. The rule was you could only play with them under adult supervision. And thankfully, no one was hurt. Yeah. And some of the toys we had back when we were children, they could be quite dangerous. Like those clackers. You remember the clackers? The two glass balls on a string. And by moving your hand and your wrist, you'd make them clack together. And the faster you moved, the faster they clacked. Until eventually, eventually one would break. And that's where the danger came in. We had tetherball, dodgeball, which could be fun. But then you'd always have some bully or someone that wanted to prove a point, which would have to, bat that tetherball back in your face. If you don't know what tetherball was, it was an inflatable ball on a small diameter rope affixed to the top of a pole. And you were supposed to bat it back and forth. You'd have one person on this side, one person on the other side. And the object of the game was, to get it around past the other person and you'd score a point. Of course, I think, at least all of us will remember how you played dodgeball. You made up a line. A person was, the thrower. And they'd throw it at you and you had to dodge it. And if he or she hit you, you were out. Yeah, it was sort of like the ball version of musical chairs. Which reminds me, yeah, musical chairs. I can remember playing those at barbecues, picnics, and church functions. Put them folding chairs out, or lawn chairs, get some music, and there'd always be one person more than there was chairs. So then you'd play the music would stop, and you'd all have to find a chair and sit down. And the one that couldn't find a chair was out. And then they'd take away another chair. And this process would keep going till there was only one chair and only two of us. The music would start, and when it stopped, whoever got to the chair was the winner. These things were fun back then. But I haven't seen any of that done in a long, long time. I don't see the badminton nets put up in any yards anymore. Volleyball. Yeah. Of course, every summer we bought squirt guns. That's one thing I'll say about my dad when we were kids. I mean, there was a time there when our squirt gun wasn't store-bought. Mama would save the dishwashing detergent bottles. Y'all probably all remember this. Because they got that squirt cap. And she'd save them up for us sort of in the summer, and we'd fill them up with water. And that was our squirt guns. And of course, we'd have squirt gun battles. You know, in later years, when Mom and Dad had more money, they went ahead and got us a store-bought one. I used to get squirt guns for the kids too. And of course, those got, you know, really high tech. And now, oh my God, they got electric ones that'll squirt 30, 50 feet. You see, we just transitioned in the evening right now as I was talking. Do you hear it? You hear the sound? I can hear the crickets, the cicadas, and the tree frogs. Because it's right at this, there they are. Yeah. I love that sound. There are certain years where that sound can be almost deafening because it's so loud. So I wanted to ask y'all, that's part of the reason I went and got all of y'all and brought you out here, is when's the last time you sat out on your porch, front or back, or out in your yard and watched the sun go down? No phone. My phone's in the house. Oh yeah, get you a cold drink. Maybe a snack if you want to. You know, wait around to, I would say, 30 minutes before the sun's about to fade away. Come on out and sit a while. Maybe with your kitty crew or your doggy, whatever you have, or that special other that's at your side. And just enjoy this quiet, magical time. Strike up a conversation. Maybe about things in the past too. Things you truly miss. You know, I read a lot of articles. They seem to come up a lot these days about what we boomers are, what we boomers did, what we still hold on to, you know, what we think about things. And some of it's true, but some of it's not. You know, I read one the other day that reminded me of all this. You know, the games we played and we thought were so special that nobody cares about anymore. I still bet, you know, if people would try it with their family, especially when the kids are really young, and put up a volleyball net and play volleyball with them, I bet they'd love it. And remember, we had wiffle ball. Yeah, that stupid ball with the holes in it and the plastic bats. Yeah, it never went where you wanted it to. And yeah, of course, we had frisbees. That's something I haven't seen anybody throw, and gosh, I can't remember when. I've just been sitting here trying to think about all the things that I believe our children have lost. But we've lost them too. And I wonder how that all came to be. And I guess it all comes back on us. Now I know everything pretty much I had as a child, I made sure to let my kids experience it as well. But I've noticed now that they have children, less and less of that is being carried on. Kids just, I guess they mostly don't want to be outdoors anymore. And that gets back to all the digital distraction. But enough of all that. Have you seen the sky changing as I've been rambling on? I don't know if you noticed it. He's starting to fade away. Fluff him up in there by his bush. And of course Cleo is still in the road. Yeah, we don't get a whole lot of traffic here. And that's one of the reasons I like this little old neighborhood. Now granted, it used to be a lot more quieter than it is now some nights. But that's just because it's changing. Yeah, it's going through a transition. All neighborhoods do. Yep, I just wanted to come out here and sit and reflect as the temperatures drop. Think back. I do a lot more of that as I get older. Do you? And I understand all things change, but that doesn't mean I don't miss it the same. Well, friends and family, I'm going to sit here for a while, and I'm going to enjoy watching that sun go down. And maybe, in some little way, I've inspired you to get on outdoors and do it too. Maybe in a special place. There are places in this world where you'll never see a more beautiful sunset than you've ever seen in your life. But you won't know it till you go find it. And maybe it's out on your front porch or in your backyard. I hope you'll try it pretty soon, for the time's running out. Well, y'all, with all that said, I hope you had a marvelous and fantastic 4th of July. Mine had some ups and downs, but in the end, it all turned out right. That's all we can ask for. So y'all take care. Stay safe out there. And may God bless you all as you bless those in your lives. Goodbye and good night for now. Till we see you on that next episode of Mr. Tom's Neighborhood. Love y'all for stopping by.